has risen to new all-time highs well beyond 4,000 per ounce this year, going on a run that many in the sector saw coming and generating mainstream attention. I've spent a lot of time speaking to experts about what's been driving the gold price higher this year, and we've covered many familiar factors, including strong central bank buying, geopolitical and trade tensions, interest rate cuts, and the trend toward de-dollarization. Those elements and more have contributed to gold's rise, but recently I've seen discussions emerge about another factor that may be in play: purchases from Tether. Before we get into the recent Tether news, let's take a step back and look at what Tether actually is. The company is a stablecoin issuer that's mainly known for USDT, a US dollar-focused stablecoin, but it issues other stablecoins as well. According to Tether, stablecoins get their name because they're pegged on a one-to-one basis to a fiat currency and as a result offer stability. Tether also offers a digital token that's backed by physical gold, with one token representing ownership of an ounce of the metal. Tether launched its gold token in 2020, but the company really started turning heads in the gold space this summer, when it took a stake of just over 30% in Elemental Royalty, then called Elemental Altus Royalties. Tether said the move was part of its broader strategy to add long-term, stable assets such as gold and Bitcoin into its ecosystem. At the time, the company said it held over 100,000 Bitcoin and close to 80 metric tons of gold, plus its Tether Gold token. I heard from Matt Geiger of MJG Capital Fund after the deal was announced, and while he emphasized that it was still early, he thought the move could prove to be significant.
I talked about this at length in the MJG investor letter. Was Tether, one of the world's largest cryptocurrency players, coming into Elemental Altus. This was announced in early June, and taking a controlling stake in the company. They now own over 50% of Elemental Altus. This is a company or a group that really should have no business investing in hard assets or natural resources. So, I don't want to draw too broad of a conclusion from a single transaction, but I think looking back a few years to this spring and this summer, one could say that was a sign that non-traditional mining investors were starting to wade back into the space after what's really been an over decade-long absence of those sort of investors. Because why would you be anywhere else than the broader U.S. stock market or cryptocurrencies, which have also behaved well? That's been what's working. But I think in hindsight, Tether's move may prove to be quite significant.
The latest Tether news goes beyond the company's connection to Elemental. In a recent report, analysts at Jefferies said Tether accounted for nearly 2% of total gold demand in the third quarter of the year, putting it ahead of even the top central bank buyers. The investment bank also states that in total, Tether now has 116 metric tons of the yellow metal, making it the largest non-central bank holder of gold. Of that amount, 12 metric tons are being used to back Tether's gold token. The other 104 metric tons are reportedly held as part of USDT's reserves. Various news outlets have pointed out some dissonance in what's happening here. That's because the Genius Act, which was signed into US law in July, doesn't allow stablecoin issuers to use gold as a reserve asset. So if we put all of this together, what does it mean? Jefferies indicates that Tether intends to buy around 100 metric tons of gold in 2025, in addition to making investments elsewhere in the gold space. Aside from its interest in Elemental, Tether has bought stakes in Gold Royalty, Metallo Royalty and Streaming, and Versamet Royalties. With that in mind, there's no denying that Tether has been a big buyer of gold recently, and it seems likely that its purchases have provided price support this year. Its activity also highlights growing interest in gold from more mainstream entities. However, at this point, Tether is still just one driver among many for the precious metal, not the be-all, end-all factor to watch. One point to keep an eye on is how the implementation of the Genius Act plays out. Tether is reportedly planning to launch USAT, a new US-focused stablecoin, by the end of this year. It will be compliant with the act, meaning it won't have gold as a reserve asset. It may also make sense to monitor investor appetite for tokenized gold. Interest in gold has surged this year alongside the price, and will probably keep doing so if the metal continues to go up. Tokenized options may appeal to new entrants looking for convenience, but that doesn't change the fact that many people believe exposure to physical metal is the best option. This is just a quick look at a complex situation, but it's a topic I'll definitely be raising with future guests on our channel. For now, I'm curious to know what you think about Tether's moves in the gold space. Are they positive or concerning? And is there more to come? Leave a comment below with your thoughts and questions.
Thank you for watching. If you like this video, make sure you hit the like button and subscribe to our channel. We'd also love to hear your thoughts, so leave us a comment below.